as we have said today, we're still getting used to the whole idea of interior design. What is interior design? And from my experience, what I've seen out there, people think that interior design is, if this guy does curtains, he's an interior designer.
Yeah.
This guy can do tiles, he's an interior designer. So I just want us to sort of make it more clear, really, what is interior design? How do we convince people out there about what we do so that they don't just undermine us? Okay, not that people who do curtains should be undermined, right?
No, but yes.
But you get what I'm saying. People think it's just something as merely being good at picking chairs for someone. So how do we really explain ourselves to people out there so they can really appreciate us for what we do?
Interior design, first of all, is a bigger thing, but also let me just use an example. It is a space. This space is like a person. They have personality. And what is personality? Just like you wake up and you say, listen, my shade is darker, so perhaps brighter colors that are not too much. Again, but they're not too below. It's almost, it's many tiny things merged together to give one thing. Which is why, say for example, if you say, I have a vision, I want to create a restaurant, it should have ice cream, it should, if the age group is this, you are defining a thing that you've not, you know what people are going to come, you know what you want to sell there, but how do you get that and give it to us visually? So I think it's, of course, bigger than curtains, but it's definitely a part of it, because curtains will attribute to a space. So interior design is, I guess, cohesively putting different versions of design. Emotions, it's very actually psychological. That's the other thing, it's very psychological. That's why, say for example, a rehab clinic, if you've ever paid attention, they have colors that are not aggressive. It's a calm, subtle thing, because what is a rehabilitation place? You want to have a togetherness, a calm place, no noise, no distraction. So you see that it's now become emotional. It's no longer curtains, because it's no longer blue. It has to be a specific shade of blue. It has to be a specific shade of white. Or even just say how you have a say for example, space that is not high ceilings, a bit covered up. The idea that you could only paint a bright white to give the illusion of light is definitely bigger than just a color curtain. So which for me, I find it hard to explain it in English. I don't even know that I can put it in Luzungu properly. I know that I can touch here, touch here, touch here, touch here, cohesively put something together. So for me, that is interior design. Interior design is just a bigger thing, but it actually saves you a lot of money. Because you see, if you had a space,
the client saves the client.
Saves the client a lot of money, which is why it is important that you pay these people. Because you see, you could go and buy, again, let's use a rehab, you could buy a red, because red is visually right. It is okay, it's a beautiful color, it's brilliant, it's happy.
Maybe it's even cheap.
Thank you, it's even cheap, it's available, it's even available. Because also interior design involves a lot of sourcing. You have to be creative. If I can't find this kind of silver, what can I do to give the same feeling without using the same thing? So you see, it's a lot of creativity there. Right? So you might go and buy a ton of red paint. Maybe it's 2 million. Yet had you asked an interior designer, it's almost like you're bouncing off your idea onto someone who is better suited to point, perhaps no, perhaps yes, but still give you the same thing. Because you see, I think when I say it this way, people are going to see, you're going to think that I'm giving my idea, you're changing it. No. The changes do not take away from the end result. It's the same vision. The going there is what we are working on. Instead of taking a longer route, we can take a shortcut. Perhaps we take a shortcut, it might not get us there in the right way. So maybe the longer. It's just basically, again, putting things together cohesively. So where you spent 2 million red paint, now you have to buy blue. Because the patients, no one is going to sign up for a bright red situation, So you see that, it's saved you money. But also it's a back and forth. You're dealing with so many suppliers. We don't do everything. I do furniture. Someone else is going to do upholstery. Someone else is going to do metalwork. But you might not know all these people. What interiors do is also save you the time, the people management, the risk of money. Not all of us are trustworthy. You know how sometimes you pay a carpenter and they run. what I'm helping you do and saving you is, this time when money gets lost, it is on me. So you can actually have a chance to recover your money. Also because the reason, and it's not like me, I want to lose money. No. It's also because in my field, I have made networks. I have friends. I know my way around that field. So that way, it's pretty much. I don't know how to put it in one Luzungu statement. I know that it's like this.
Sense.
Yes, that's my way.
An engineer and so forth. Now, the architect is going to think about the whole huge structure. The engineer, and its aesthetics, mostly from outside, the function of major spaces. Then the engineer is going to make sure that that building stands. And then me, I will make sure that you can live in it.
Yes.
And that you can live in it comfortably. And that is why when the interior designers are learning, they learn about how to design for comfort. They learn about how to solve, all kinds of problems within the interior space. They learn about color psychology. They learn about how people feel and think in spaces. All those things are the ones that make the interior designer valuable when they are designing spaces for humans to inhabit. So that's basically that's the basics of what we do. And then you have to add other skills. You have to become a project manager. Because as an interior designer, you're going to handle so many people on the project. You're going to handle so many products and things like that. So you have to also become a project manager, and apart from being a designer. So it's a whole thing, like she was saying. Designer, you also sometimes are going to be a therapist to your client, because maybe the client is all over the place with so many ideas, and then you have to help them bring it together. And then while you're doing that, you're going to have to be a who are those guys? Negotiator, the ones who manage hostage situations and things like that. They're negotiators. Because the client knows what they know. They've traveled. Maybe you have a client who's brilliant and knows what they need. And then you also know the reasons why you are proposing what you're proposing. But you can't come off like, I know it because they're paying you. Basically, they're your boss. So you also have to come off as a negotiator. And sometimes you are between the client, maybe even two clients, a husband and a wife, or two directors, or whatever. And you're in the middle there, and you're going to it is for your highest benefit that this project works. So you're going to get into that role of a negotiator. I'm telling you, an interior designer does many things. And then you have to also deal with suppliers. Suppliers who might give you things that may not work, and then you have to think up. Basically, you're a problem solver. And you're solving problems to make spaces inhabitable. Just look at the beautiful.
So you just look at the beautiful thing. So it's also an identity thing. Why do you feel like when someone says, you do curtains, why do you feel like it's something bad or they've belittled you? It's because we've been programmed into that way to think that there's work that is less than, or but you get it. So your work, be proud of your work. And also within you, you're not all about curtains. You spend sleepless nights modeling things on your computer and bringing up colors and what was that, rendering and making beautiful things. Your work is not all about that. So you won't stand on the street to prove to people, hey, guys, I'm great at what I do now.
I've got an answer for that one. When they ask you, do you do curtains? You say, nazo tuzikola. Nazo. Then you say, nae kankuvuli. Then you tell them the whole thing, the way you think it. And by the time they have left, they're like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because even architects, they say they just draw lines. So I think it's going to be there for every profession. So you just have to know what you do, as long as you've understood what you do and the value that you bring. Because people will always pay for value. If you're bringing value, you will pay for it.
Don't feel little. You're not little.
Thank you so much. We are really glad we got this opportunity, because I believe we all feel inspired after this, because we've been in class and you want to give up. You're like, I'm not even going to make it out there. But seeing the three of you here, you all look successful, by the way. And you are successful. You look and you are successful, and we are very grateful. And we're so grateful to Artfield for organizing such events where we can get to relinquish, I don't know the word, to reburn the candle for our passion,
Yes.
reignite our passion. Yeah, and we also thank Planet Systems for hosting us today. Thank you so much.